Hello and welcome to our discussion. Quite not a very formal discussion because it's all about ourselves. We are asking ourselves, what is this that would make me graduate in a record time in my master, in my PhD, given that the research involved is very vigorous, given that there are various bureaucracies, given that there are various handles? Well, this discussion has been there, and some people have not been very sure of what it takes for sure to have a good document that would make you graduate. Well, but according to me, only three things that are involved. Number one, you just need to have a well-structured study. Number two, you just need to do a thorough research. Number three, you just need to have a critical analysis of the data. And from there, you are sure with a continuous revision of the work that you're having, according to the feedback that you are being given by your monitor. I would rather call him a mentor. I mean a supervisor, but when it comes to monitor, in as much as the work of a supervisor is to monitor, I would rather have it mentorship. And this is where even your integrity will come out openly and without any struggle. But anyway, let us see. When the supervisor picks your document, what tells him that your work is well structured? Is what I'll find well structured as a supervisor what would be found well structured by this other supervisor? What is well structured in this university? Is it what would be well structured in that other university? Yes, no. And this is why your work as a postgraduate student involves many eyes. You realize you'll not only have one supervisor, because you may standing with one, you may be standing with one, you may be working with one, you may be having one to consult and to refer to every other moment. But look at what we call defenses. With the defenses, we have many people coming to sit down, to look at your work, other than looking at your work, to listen to your work. And those are two things that are involved, my postgraduate student. We are saying you are the lead researcher. That's why what you have done, before you defend, it is normally sent to all the panelists, probably, so that they may read it beforehand. The day you come to sit down and defend, they will listen to you explaining what you are doing in the same document. What does that tell you? They would have just looked at your work through reading, and that would have been all. But again, here they want to listen to you. Why? So that what was not clear can become clear, because you are the one who knows where you are going. And that is why you have what you have indicated in your research project, research thesis, research dissertation. And that's why some of these clarifications would give a kind of a nod to the whole process. So when we are talking of a well-structured work, we are saying that a thesis is a one line of argument from the start to the end. I want to repeat. A thesis is a one line of argument from the beginning to the end. It is never in pieces. That's why you look at the research, the supervisor here, telling you as a researcher, your topic should relate to your objectives. your objectives should relate to your conceptual framework. Your conceptual framework should relate to your literature review. Your literature review should relate to the research instruments. So there is no one time that we are looking at chapter 1, that your supervisor is looking at chapter 1, that your colleague or your peer is looking at chapter 1, and from there they tell you it is so good, it is so okay, go to chapter 2. So without chapter 1, now you go to chapter 2. No, everything has to flow from the very first point to the end, and that's why you may realize from the topic the supervisor has skipped 1.1, that is background to the problem. He may even skip purpose to the problem, or to go to the objectives of the study. That's why you may realize at least he may first skip the whatever we may call scope of the study, limitations, delimitations, terms and abbreviations, just to go to the conceptual framework. So the question is, why can't we start it from one point, going systematically to the end? No, there is what we may call the skeleton. This is what we may call the framework, which must establish what you are doing, because every other thing will take that shape, will take that form. And it is when that thing, that frame takes shape, now you can go on with your thorough research. That was our point 2 on getting an excellent document. So point 1 was well-structured study. Point 2 was thorough research. Number 3 was critical analysis. That is how we get an excellent study. And we are always saying we don't have a perfect study. So the thorough research, with the guidance of your supervisor, you are sure with a very good structure, it may be a phase which you may realize you have moved very fast, whereas you have taken a little bit more time to start with, and this is where majority of students feel frustrated and disappointed. Now, if I have taken all this along with the topic and with the objectives, I'm still in chapter 1. Now, when shall I go all the way to the last chapter? Excuse me, when the framework takes shapes, then these other feelings are always very automatic. Things fall into place. Because when we are talking of the critical analysis or analyzing your data critically, we are just saying it is another very automatic step that has been brought about by your thorough research, and your supervisor made sure your thorough research is based on a few things. Number 1, the topic is right, the objectives are right, the research design is right, your population on the sample and the way you are sampling is right. Then we look at the data analysis of whatever data collection procedure that you have given out. So all this doesn't require cracking your brains. No. More often it will just require you adhering to the guidance that you're being given by your supervisor or supervisors, the panelists, because I'm telling you, there's no one time in this is the research, that is master product document. In this dissertation, that is PhD document, there's no one time it will only take a few heads, like yourself and your supervisor or supervisors. No, it will involve so many heads. And even by the end of the day, in as much as you'll have at least 2 internal examiners, there will still be an external examiner. What does that tell you? Somebody is coming objectively to look at what you have done, to rate you, and then give you their verdict. And this is where we are talking about the verdict. The verdict here, it is a judgment of your document. And the judgment of your document, somebody who has been getting along with their supervisor on continuous revision of their work according to the feedback given by their supervisor and the panelists, somebody who has been keen on the issues of integrity that may water down their scholarly work, this somebody who is just eligible because that one guarantees high scholarly standards. I am not saying by the time you are graduating, you are becoming perfect. No, but at least you are becoming excellent. And not 100% excellency. It is every day's learning that will kind of be perfecting you every day. And that's why the fact that you graduated yesterday in Masters, in your PhD, doesn't tell you that you are perfect or even excellent. No, this is a journey, and the journey is progressive. The progression here will take your own initiative to go out of your way and get other materials that would require for your perfection, but more so, getting understanding from other scholars, because every day we are made perfect by those whom we are getting along with. Remember Lev Vygotsky and his social learning theory. That is, it is only when I'm interacting with you, when I'm able to move from where I am to the next level by your help. And that is what he called the zone of proximal development. Kindly subscribe and share to more and more. I think we should have a wider platform in this very group so that we may have more discussion, more rigorous discussion, more meaningful discussion, more effective discussion, and our efficiency would get some way when we are together. Two are better than one. Thank you.